Welcome back everyone, it is Eric from Rare Candy, and today we are going to be trying out a very spooky, Halloween-themed Chandelure Mill deck. Because at the end of the day, really what is scarier than running into a mill or control deck? These are always the most annoying types of decks to run into in the Pokemon TCG, and this new Chandelure from Lost Origin is definitely no exception. It has the Mountain Roasting ability. Whenever you play this Pokemon from hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. So we're trying to swarm, all 4 of these Chandelures, mill a ton of cards, but the big issue with this ability, it is only a coming into play ability, so we do have to rely on things like Scoop Up Net to keep reusing these abilities throughout the course of game. But when we take Chandelure and then combine it with the recent Misfortune Sisters, we can mill a ton of cards in a given turn and hopefully force our opponent to deck out without rarely if ever attacking. And since we aren't planning on attacking in this deck, we do have the Gormandize Snorlax as our main partner Pokemon here because we can end our turn and draw until we have 7 cards. So ideally in a turn, we do a bunch of evolving into Chandelures and Lampents, use Misfortune Sisters and annoying supporters like that, and then refill our hand turn after turn to continue this whole loop that we have. So that's the general core strategy that we have with today's deck. And before we get into the rest of the list and jump in some games, if you guys can, remember to leave a like on that video, feed that always hungry YouTube algorithm. And if you need any cards to complete this Chandelure deck for yourself, you can check out our friends over at PTCGO Use that coupon code RARECANDY at checkout and you'll get a discount on your order. But if you want an even bigger discount, all of Rare Candy's patrons have their own exclusive discount code for even bigger savings. Links to those will be down below in the description. Well, let's get back into our deck list for just a minute here. Even though Chandelure is kind of the star of this evolution line, we still have the top entry Lampent, which also is pretty good. If we draw this at the beginning of our turn and our bench isn't full, we can just immediately put this thing down. So every now and again, this will help us get one of our evolutions into play. As I mentioned, we have the Snorlax to end our turn with Gormandize, but we do have a couple of other Pokemon we sometimes might leave in the active. We of course have a copy of Miltank for that Miracle Body ability. It's going to prevent damage done to it by Pokemon V, so this gives us a way we can just throw something up in the active, prevent our opponent from taking prizes while we are milling them out. Or that's the hope anyways. But we also have a copy of Morpeko as well for the Torment attack. It does 20 damage, and then you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks, and during your opponent's next turn, that Pokemon can't use that attack. Now, this doesn't seem too impactful most of the time, but when we combine that with Galar Mine to make sure our opponent can't retreat, and also other annoying cards like Yellhorn, it's going to be very annoying for our opponent to be able to attack sometimes. And this is really important in certain matchups like the Lost Zone based decks. Sableye just kind of wrecks this deck if we're being honest. So between cards like Yellhorn and also the Morpeko, it makes it hard for them to be able to use Lost Mine every turn, to be able to, take those cheap prizes on your Litwicks and Lampents that are going to be on your bench waiting to evolve. We have a copy of Manaphy to protect our bench, and our last Pokemon is going to be a copy of Pyukumuku for the ability where we can put it at the bottom of our deck and draw a single card. Now, the big card this really pairs most nicely with is going to be 2 copies of Schlien that we are running in the deck as well. And so with Schlien, if we do flip heads at least once and get a card on top of our deck, not only can we draw it with Snorlax at the end of our turn, but we also can use Pyukumuku to just immediately draw that card and still be able to play it in the same turn as well. We also have a copy of Bruno and Birdkeeper to round out our supporter cards. You may notice we aren't playing any copies of Peonia. I think that is a card you could fit in here. I did have it in the list at one point, but I found that I wasn't using it as much as I like to, or, I would rather play Schlien or Misfortune Sisters most given turns out there. But we do have the 1 copy of Hisuian Heavy Ball to sort of make up for that, where we can get a basic Pokemon out of our prizes. You could maybe play a second one of this, but the one, it's going to do the trick most of the time here. Other than that, guys, pretty straightforward deck. We got a bunch of ball search cards to make sure we can find our Pokemon, and our 4 capture energies to just help get our Pokemon into play a little bit quicker. A lot of times we're just using this to get set up, but we can actually attack with Miltank and with Morpeko, which are going to be good in certain matchups out there. So again, guys, this is going to be our spooky ghost Chandelure Mill deck we're going to be playing today. Let's hop in some games and see how this thing is going to do. Definitely going to be looking for Snorlax. Of course, that's going to be our best starter in the deck. Now we see our opponent has the colorless water deck box with the Arceus sleeves. This makes me think it might be like Arcantel, which might be a good matchup for us. That I could definitely see how we could win that. Okay, this hand's actually pretty good going second. We do have the rare candies kind of clogging our hand for the moment. So this is actually an instance where I kind of wish maybe we only played like 2 copies of rare candy. So maybe that's like a cuttable card if you guys want to like iterate on this list a little bit more. Definitely good in the mid to late game, just not right now. But let's see what our opponent is going to be doing. Okay, they have a pretty good setup. Oh, okay, but it looks like it's just Lost Box so far, or some sort of Lost Zone variant here. But we see a Battle VIP Pass, so let's see what they're going to be playing. Okay, we see the Radiant Greninja. That's usually a sign we're playing against Giratina. A lot of Giratina decks don't play the Manaphy, so it might not be that. It could be like... I mean, they could be playing like really weird stuff like the Celebrations Kyogre to like do a bunch of bench damage. That is a possibility. Again, just not quite sure what we're going against. So our opponent's going to chuck about a VIP Pass. Okay. So we are going to see a Scoop of Net. Probably going to do some comfy shenanigans for a little bit here. Now, the Lost Zone decks are a little bit tricky, and those are actually the main reason that we're playing the Morpeko and all of the Yellhorns, because we just really need to make sure they can't keep attacking with Sableye over and over. Okay, so right out the gate, let's just go for the Misfortune Sister, see what we can rip here. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're feeling pretty good about that. We'll take it. Now, we might need to get down Manaphy at some point here, because they are threatening the attack with the Radiant Greninja, though I'm not sure if they can actually get there next turn. I mean, I guess it's possible. They would need 3 Comfies and a Chorus, right? That would get them there to be able to use Mirage Gate. Let's go for the Yasuin Heavy Ball right out the gate. Okay, actually glad that we had a Pokemon in our prizes for this game. Just because we wanted to attach Capture Energy to something other than Snorlax here. Okay, so the next question is, what do we actually get at this point? I'm kind of tempted to go for, like, maybe another Snorlax. Also, I wouldn't mind Manaphy either. So let's see what all we have to work with. I mean, we just did check our prizes, so I should know, but honestly wasn't paying attention to what we had beyond our Litwick. Okay, so if they do Escape Rope, I kind of just want to go for the Snorlax. That seems okay to me. I don't want to give them an easy prize. And if they do Escape Rope, we can just scoop up net the Snorlax. So that seems pretty good to me. Not the strongest turn 1 in the world, guys, but, you know, we're hanging in there. Oh, Jesus. Okay, at least we did get a Quick Ball to get rid of one of these rare candies. So again, guys, maybe this is going to be a cuttable card here. Okay, getting rid of Comfy, that's an easiest decision. So their flower selecting targets haven't been that tricky for them so far, but let's see what they're going to get off Chorus. It is definitely possible they could get an attack off with Radiant Greninja, which, that's fine by me. Like, if they do knock out the Litwick, I mean, I don't really like that, but I would definitely prefer them to attack with Cramorant this turn. Just because we can nullify their damage output, and we can maybe even use the Yellhorn on them too. Okay, we see Psychic Energy, so Sableye is in deck. We kind of assume that, though. Okay, Training Corp. Glad they got that down, because we have the Galar Mine ready to go, and at least we can get some good value out of it by bumping their stadium in the process. So Sableye definitely going to be a big issue for our deck. We are kind of worried about. But let's see. Okay, Double Quick Ball is actually kind of busted here. So let's go ahead and bump their stadium. Absolutely. So Quick Ball. I hate getting rid of all these rare candies. Again, it's a good card. We just don't want it right now in the game. So probably also get down Manaphy. Just in case. I hate having Manaphy on the board just because it's an easy prize for Sableye if they do pivot away from the Greninja strategy. So we'll definitely net. They've barely used any switching cards, so I guess we probably still Yellhorn here. We can get an extra card in the process. I just really want to save the Yellhorns for Sableye. That's the card we're most worried about here. Okay, pretty decent hand for the next turn. Can't complain too much. Kind of hoping they get stuck in the active. That would be great, but, you know, I'm assuming they're playing like a billion switch cards. We got to figure they're playing. Okay, there's going to be boss. Now, unfortunately, we do not have a rescue carrier ready to go. That would be amazing, but you know, we do have the Pyukumuku, so, you know, we could get lucky off the one card, and there's going to be the tails, so that's good. It does feel bad having to scoop up net mana fee, though. I really don't like that. So before we do anything else, I'm going to level ball here. We're just going to grab a Lampent, thin the deck a little bit, see what we can get off the Pyukumuku, because if we get capture energy or something, I'd rather just use that and save the scoop up nets for Chandelures or to heal. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, Birdkeeper, that's like actually busted, so let's go for that. Yeah, just switch over here into Snorlax. Broken. So we'll do this. Candy. And the shenanigans continue. So let's see what we hit off these three. Energy and Air Balloon, both good cards. So I'll do this. I guess we probably just go ahead and net this thing now. Sure. Our hand is kind of clogged, but we can play it down decently for next turn. Okay, well, we're going to be milling some cards for several turns, it seems. Let's see. Them being down Recycler, Training Court, and Rod is really good for us. And they're down 2 Psychic Energy as well. Okay, there's going to be the Scoop Up Net. They're playing Irida. Okay. Very interesting. So this looks like it is just sort of like just a Psychic in Water deck. Like, again, I'm expecting there to be like a Lost Zone Kyogre. Or not Lost Zone Kyogre, but Celebrations Kyogre in here somewhere too. If I had to guess. We see the Echoing Horn. So, yeah, it looks like they're going all in on the bench sniping effects here. So, let's see. We are down 2 nets. Just trying to keep track because we might need to eventually pivot into more Pekko. Okay, there's going to be Cram. That's cool. We can live with that. Alrighty, so we are definitely going to Misfortune Sisters right out the gate. Okay, getting rid of a net, definitely good. Oh, actually, we should have... I think we did this the wrong order. We should have Chandelured first, then Misfortune Sisters. Got ahead of myself here. But the reason for that is we really want to get rid of their switching cards, and the correct order of operations is to try to mill the other cards first and then hit the Misfortune Sisters afterwards. And we'll just Gormandize. Okay, we have a Yellhorn. Definitely good. Definitely good. Only 4 cards left, and they still have quite a few prizes to take, guys. So I have a feeling we might actually have this one. But, you know, they still could Marnie themselves. So if they are playing Marnie, they can put their hand back into their deck and try to prevent themselves from decking out. There's just be the Spit Innocently. And we get the victory screen, so that's dope. Yeah, I think we were doing pretty good there. They weren't able to, you know, get their spread shenanigans off quick enough, and as a result, we kind of ran away with that one. We can definitely live with this. One of the things I do like about this deck, too, is the fact that, like, we're not reliant on attacking. We're just using Gormandize every turn, and we can Gormandize turn 1. Whereas if you're based around attacking, you have to wait at least till turn 2 to attack. So that's the one thing I do like about the whole Snorlax sort of engine here. Okay, we see a Giratina. We're cool with that, I think. So we're out the gate. Let's just go for the Pyukumuku. Before we do anything else, if we hit Pokemon, that's great. I don't want to thin Pokemon out of deck. Okay. That's cool. So let's go ahead and level ball. Let's see what we got. Ooh, we did prize a couple of Lampents. So let's see our rare candies. Those might be important for us. Okay, we do have all of our rare candies at least, so that's good. We do have our Pyukumuku. We have our more Pekko. Let's see. So I'll probably get down another Snorlax here as well, just in case of an escape rope. That's like the big play we're kind of worried about. So I would like to save Evolution Incense, but guys, we need to make sure that we don't give up an easy prize against this Giratina deck. I mean, I guess it could be like an Arceus variant where they can't attack with a Cramorant, but we don't know that, so we should just play it safe here. And we want multiple Snorlax in play anyways. So I'll just go for the Gormandize, refill our hand a little bit, and we have the Lampent ready to go to evolve. Okay, we have a level ball, so we can get another Lampent that way. Got Capture Energy. Yeah, we got some good stuff here. I'm liking where we're at right now. Okay, but there's the Battle VIP Pass. So this is going to be like a more traditional, like, Lost Zone, Lost Box style engine here. We definitely need to get down Manaphy on this next turn, because Radiant Greninja is definitely going to be a threat. We need to protect our poor little Litwicks before they can get up and running. We could even see them use Abyss Seeking. That's also an option for them to get set up, since we're not applying pressure. Giratina is safe in the active, so we could see them do that. If we do, getting a Yell Horn to confuse them definitely wouldn't be too bad either. Okay, there's Lumineon. I'm actually cool with this. I would rather Lumineon come down now in the early game than in the late game. Like, I'd rather them have to use this on Colress than a boss. So let's see what they're going to get rid of here. Okay, Psychic Energy. Love seeing that. Definitely don't want to see any of that, because Sableye is kind of like our worst nightmare with this deck. Okay, and a Passerus. Great. Love that. So right out the gate here, guys, let's just go for the Pyukumuku. Okay, Capture Energy, that's cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach to Litwick back here. Grab Manaphy, definitely want to get that down. Guys, we're looking pretty good for the next couple turns. So, and if we need to, we have Scoop Up Net plus Capture Energy and the Ball Search card to get more Pekko as well. So that's definitely good. And we'll just Gormandize. So pretty good turn 2 as well. Now we're taking things a little bit slow. Unfortunately, we have not yet hit a Misfortune Sisters. I would have loved, honestly, to hit one of those in these past couple turns, just because we want to start getting rid of those Scoop Up Nets, those switching cards, before our opponent starts accumulating all of those in their hand. Okay, there's going to be Giratina VSTAR. I'm actually really cool with this, because Giratina is a pretty bad attacker against our deck, for being honest. And this also does eventually mean we might be able to set up a Miltank at some point, too. Because if they left it unevolved, they could use Shred, potentially. So maybe they just don't know what our deck does. Like, they literally just might not know what Chandelure does, and they might think they need to evolve just to make sure they don't get knocked out. And they're still dead set on powering up this Radiant Greninja. I'm cool with that, though, guys. Honestly, I think we're just going to Bruno here. We'll get the Galar Mine down, just in case. Because we still have 3 more. And, yep, seems pretty good to me. Unfortunately, we can't get a full 7 cards, but, of course, we can always refill our hand with Snorlax here. Can we hit a Chandelure? That would be great. No, unfortunately not. But we do have the Gormandize. We have a Misfortune Sisters for next turn. That's good. Still no Chandelure in sight, unfortunately. But at least the Giratina is kind of stuck for the moment. Their Air Balloon's not going to bail them out of this thing being in the active, so they are going to need like an actual switching card here. Okay, another concealed cards. Please get rid of Psychic Energy. That's like the big card we want to see them get rid of. Okay. Great news. They have 1 in play, 1 here, and then 1 in the Lost Zone. Yeah. So whatever keeps Sableye away from our bench is kind of what we want here. And they only have 4 cards in Lost Zone. So I think the Giratina in the active has really been messing them up when it comes to getting set up, which has been great for us because, we've been getting our Pokemon in play kind of decently, but it's also been kind of slow getting the whole milling started with this deck. Okay, Air Balloon. That's cool. So Galar Mine definitely coming in handy. There's going to be a boss's orders. All right. Please let us top deck Chandelure so we could go Candy, Scoop Up Net, and re-evolve over here. That'd be great. Okay, pass over to us. Awesome. Now, what I'm going to do here... I think we toss one candy. Grab Pyukumuku. We have all 4 Chandelure in deck, so we have kind of okay odds of hitting one. Unfortunately not. But we do have the Misfortune Sisters, guys. Ordinary Rod, that is, you know, it's only one card, which kind of sucks for a deck that plays so many items. But nevertheless, it is going to help us keep that energy out of play. So we'll Pow Pad. We'll get back both of these just so we can play down our hand a little bit more. And unfortunately, we are going to have to burn a Scoop Up Net. I think this is our first one, though. Yeah, it's only our first, so we don't mind losing one here. And just go for the Gorman dice. Okay, we finally have a Chandelure for the next turn, guys. So concealed cards. Hey, if they want to keep getting rid of energy, that's great, just because they have a rod down. Now, we do still need to get rid of their energy recycler or their second rod, because that is going to be something we have to worry about. And they still also could have a training court. That's another thing that could mess up our strategy of denying their energy. Okay, pretty much an easy 2 cards for them to get rid of here. Unfortunately, no hard decisions for them to pick from. They just need a single energy and they can retreat this thing. Okay, but there's going to be the counter stadium. That's cool. Actually, don't completely hate them putting that down just because it's one less card we can have in our hand for when we Gormandize on the next turn. It looks like they're interesting. They're going to promote Greninja. That seems really weird to me. Unless they play like concealed card, or not concealed cards, but canceling Coleman and Boss. The Greninja is a little bit sus, not gonna lie. Okay, there's Sableye, that's cool. But they chorused already this turn, so I don't know what's going on here. There's the energy recycler. So again, unfortunately, our milling strategy started off a little bit slow. We weren't able to eliminate the recycler, but it's gone now. That's probably the end of their recovery cards. 1 training court, maybe 2 max. And then we have the rod and recycler gone already too. I guess they're just going to hit the active Snorlax. They might have forgotten about Manaphy. We might see a concession if they did. Yeah, okay, just the active. That's cool with me, bro. Yeah, that's fine. And we can bump their stadium, so... Okay, Hisuian Heavy Ball. Nothing in there. But just nice to take a look, see what we have hanging around in there. Okay, so we want to get rid of items, so we want to evolve first. We'll definitely evolve here with the candy, just because this won't be able to be picked off with something like Sableye, potentially. And also, this allows us to play down our hand a little bit more for Snorlax, so... Okay, we got rid of a Scoop Up Net, that is great. And we have a Misfortune Sisters, also hitting a ton of good cards. Okay, so we're feeling pretty good about this. From there, definitely going to do this. And our opponent's probably just like, bro, what are you doing to me? Stop. Okay, great hand for next turn too. We got the Bird Keeper, we got another Chandelure. We're feeling pretty good. Like, even if they do pull off an attack with Sableye, we have Bird Keeper plus Capture and the Morpeko, so we can pull off a Torment potentially too. Okay, there's gonna be a Chorus. Hey, that's gonna put them down to 3 cards. I'm not gonna turn that down at all. Now, they could be playing something like a Marnie to refill their deck, maybe. I think a lot of Giratina decks don't play the Marnie though. It definitely is a possibility, but... Let's see, they're at 8 right now when it comes to... the loss on... Ooh, that's actually kind of tricky for them. They need to get to 10 to activate Sableye, but they can't keep using Comfy because they'll just deck out. Guys, I think we have this one, because if they can't use Sableye, they just don't have a shot at winning with this deck. Let's see, how many nets are they down? 3. Okay, yeah, we can Snorlax one more time.
1 hour later.
What am I talking about? We have Chandelure. We just mill them here and just win that way. So, yeah. We'll just do that. We're thinking too hard about this one, guys. And I guess just to be a jerk, we'll add some insult to injury and go for the Torment either way. And they can't attack with their Spit Innocently either. And we get the victory screen. Dope. That's what I like to see. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it today for our Halloween themed Chandelure Mill deck. Probably not, the most competitive deck in the world, but I will say you can steal a lot of games just from your opponent not knowing what you're playing and not knowing how to play around the Chandelure mill strategy. So actually, if you're planning on playing in any best of one format tournaments, maybe some local events, this could be a fun deck to bring, but probably not expecting it to take down your next regional or anything. But either way, I hope you guys did enjoy a look at this deck. Of course, if you did, remember to leave a like on the video. And if you're feeling a little bit extra generous and want to take that support to the next level, you can also become a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or pick up some merch at rarecandytcg.com. Links to everything will be down below in the description. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.